Yo, tonight, Michael Carbajal, dude, the guy's a 106-pound monster,
Knockout
knocking cats
artist.
out,
One of the
killing
greatest,
people
if not the greatest, 106 pounder ever, I would say.
ever. How could you fight hard at 106 pounds? Don't know, but we'll see. Michael Carbajal, let's go.
Let's get into it. Welcome to the champ and the chump.
And who's the chump?
You.
Me. Welcome to our show, people. Yeah,
Uh,
some.
you had a great career, Michael. I mean, I hope you're as satisfied with your career as the fans and the people who watching you were. Um, it
Oh
was,
yeah,
yeah,
very satisfied. I retired world champion, so that makes it even more satisfying.
yeah. I mean, for people who don't know, you fought at pretty much 115, right? Your whole career,
Yeah, junior
and
flyweight, 108. Yeah,
and you were knocking guys the f out, which was, for those who don't know, is very rare for your weight, right?
very, very.
Yeah.
It was.
You had the natural heavy hands, and you were called the little hands of stone. So I was always curious, that nickname, obviously it's a play off of Duran, correct?
Right,
Did you
right.
ever speak with Duran about that?
Oh yeah, I never spoke to him about it, about following the name.
Uh-huh.
I had met him before, but I just that just came out, manitas, because I've always liked Duran, and ever since I started watching him fight, I said I'm gonna be like that.
Mm,
I want to fight like that.
wow. Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, allegedly, you have two gyms in the same city.
No, I got one gym,
Uh,
one gym, one gym.
Wikipedia was incorrect.
Well, sometimes even the box recs are incorrect and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
There,
So,
yeah, I just got one gym.
one gym. And so you have any kind of prospects out of there?
Oh, I got a lot of young kids. I got like from 16 on down to 13, and they're gonna be prospects. It takes a long time,
Uh,
and take it slowly. That's what you have to do with them, and you got to see if they're gonna really love to fight. And I think that's a big difference. If you have someone that comes in there and they just love it, there's a whole different kind of you got a whole different kind of fighter once he loves the sport and once he can take it.
yeah.
That's where you know
Uh,
because a lot of the trainers they don't have the time or give the time to have these kids learn and not just put them in so quick. And they got to learn, from the sparring and everything. And that's what I do with these kids. I go, well, you guys aren't going to spar yet. You're going to spar when you're ready to spar. Because, all the kids, they don't know. They just come in there and say, I want to spar. I want to get in the ring. Well, you're not going to get in the ring. You're going to learn the basics, the basic punches, and then you're going to get in the ring. You're going to do a little bit of that kind of stuff, mitts and all that. You're
mm.
not sparring yet.
Would you say you train your kids defense first, offense first, or a mix of both?
Mix of both. You got to
Yeah.
teach them both
Mm.
because all the counter punching and everything, you got to show them that because they don't know what punches are going to come. You got to show them just the basics, and then you show them when they start sparring. Then you show them. Then they know. Then they know to relax and stay there and relax. If you relax and you don't get tensed up, you beat anybody.
We were talking to Derek James, who trains, Errol Spence and Charlo, and by the way, the sound got much louder, so whatever Laura did is perfect. And he's a trainer, so I was curious because I remember back in your day, my day, and you guys are a few years older than me. There'd be sparring every day of the week. So I'm curious now, do you still do that, or do you keep it a lot lighter in terms of when they're preparing for a fight?
No, I've always sparred 3 times a week. Monday,
Mm,
Wednesday, Fridays, and that's the way I'm gonna keep it.
mm,
And mitts and stuff are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We
okay,
got Sunday off.
okay.
And so what does a Tuesday in the gym look like? Jump rope, saddle box, mitts, not mitts, back work,
Like any other boxing gym, we're
same
like
stuff.
Same
we're
stuff.
just like any other boxing gym. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but maybe some people don't know what other the gyms look like. That's why I'm trying to give them a
Well,
picture
it's
they look like.
it's the heavy bags, speed bags, jump rope, and the mitts Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. The sparring you got all of that combined. I mean, you got sparring combined on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays,
Okay.
They
So
do all the mitt work, the floor work, and then they spar as well.
and running.
and running.
And
We
run.
run before the gym.
Wow.
Oh yeah, definitely doing that. Definitely doing that. So I
So
mean,
when in your the Olympics, right? When you got the silver medal,
Yeah,
which is a great for you. You were on the same team as Roy Jones, correct?
right.
Right.
Run, team, Riddick Bowe, all of us.
And how was
Oh,
that? How do you
Ken,
compare the Olympic experience to like you as a pro
um,
in terms of like how?
Olympic Olympic experience is not no other than anything. I remember a long time ago, I was listening to an interview with Ray Leonard, and this is before, and
Mhm,
he was saying, man, there's nothing like the Olympics, nothing
mhm,
whatsoever. And
mhm,
now I know what he was talking about. I go, man, is that really true? Because I hadn't went to Olympics yet,
mhm,
and when I went, it's really unbelievable. And more than it, even though I wanted the world title first, professional world title first, I never even thought of Pan American Games. I never thought of the Olympics till I was
mhm.
seeing things, and then till I got closer to it, then I started to realize, oh, Olympics, Pan American Games, everything. You know, once you win the national championships and stuff, that's when they tell you all about all of that international stuff.
well, at what age did you make the U.S. boxing team?
What was that?
At what age did you make the U.S. boxing team?
Well, I was whew, um, 17. When I was 16, I made it. I didn't make the team until I was 20 years old, 22 years old.
Really?
I s-
At what weight were you at?
Sorry. Um, about 19 probably. About
19.
19.
19, and you're 106.
Yeah, I was at 106 throughout my career. I mean, even through professionals.
Yeah, I
I couldn't.
saw.
I
I didn't
mean,
have problems.
did you ever move around with Eric Griffin?
Yeah, I beat him like 3 times.
Oh,
Because Eric Griffin,
Amateurs in
was on my
amateurs.
team. He was the amateur world champion. When I was there,
When you were there, yeah. You
what
yeah,
about
I was on the next team up.
what
oh,
about with Ricardo Lopez?
oh, that fight just never materialized, man. I would have loved that fight.
Did you
I
ever
would have
spar him?
nothing
No,
at all.
that would have been a great fight.
I would have loved it.
I think you would have given him that one loss. I think you would have did it.
I think that's why he didn't want to take it.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him
We
either.
always say that.
But
We always say that.
Yeah.
He didn't fight Chiquita. I thought he was going to fight Chiquita because the third time he and Chiquita fought, I lost the decision in Mexico City.
Mm.
Ricardo Lopez was on the undercard. So I figured they were going to win because if I would have won, I would have fought Ricardo Lopez.
So for people
That,
listening, I'm sorry to cut you off. For people listening,
that's
Ricardo Lopez retired, I think, 51 and 0,
right.
and I
Not a
think he was,
fighter.
yeah,
Great fighter.
he was a great fighter, but I think he was definitely protecting that O against
Oh,
you. Yeah.
that's
well,
what I
at that time, if you're at 48, 47 and 0, you're like that's that's all you're thinking about. You're not picking fights because they're hard. They're picking fights that you're gonna win easy
Mm-hmm.
because you want to protect the O.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that end of his
Um,
career.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I saw, you mentioned the Humberto Gonzalez fight. The first one was a tremendous fight, man. Like,
Oh, I love. Yeah.
yeah, it was
You know,
action.
that's what everybody knows me by, or knows me in Chiquita by them fights. And they
Mm-hmm.
go, man, every time I go somewhere, and even if you're not a boxing expert or a fan or anything, that's the first thing they say, man, we love them fights with Chiquita. I mean, everywhere I go, and I said, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I, appreciate it.
That was a great, great fight, and then you fought him two other times. What
Right.
made you rematch him after the first win? Just because it was so close?
The first win, because it was so exciting, everybody wanted to see a second fight.
Mm,
Everybody wanted to see a second fight. He had dropped me twice. I came back and stopped him in the seventh round. He
mm-hmm.
dropped me in the second round and the fifth round.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Second round
Well,
was
The
flash,
Flash.
but that fifth round when he knocked me down, I was terribly hurt. I was hurt.
Yeah. You
I
were-
was,
so the first one was a flash, the second one was the real deal, huh?
you
I was,
know.
if you looked at that fight, and he caught me with the perfect right hook,
Mm,
right hit on the money, and
mm-hmm.
I fell to the ground, hit the canvas. I banged on the canvas, said, "God damn, I'm down again."
Mm.
But, oh shit! I know he's gonna come. He's
You
gonna
know,
come right at me.
that fight kind of reminded me of Diego Corrales and Castillo one,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Very similar. You were Corrales coming back and just taking him out.
They're great fights, man. Those are great fights.
Oof, I know. It was so. Is there any fight, I guess, besides Lopez that you really wanted that you never got?
No, not really.
No.
No, not that I can think of off the bat. I
Would
was
you
pretty.
flow between 15 and 19, or would you stay at 15?
I was staying. That's what I walked around at. 15. That's the heaviest. The heaviest I walked around was 115. That's why I stood at 108. I didn't have any problems whatsoever. And
Wow.
and then here in Phoenix, it gets really hot and it stays hot. It really don't cool down. And I had no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, I
So
went
I
to
stood at
Of course.
I went to U of A, so I'm very familiar with the Arizona heat.
108.
Very familiar with it. Um, I mean, you did a lot of firsts, I would say, in the sport. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, you're the first light flyweight to have $1 million purse. You're the first light flyweight to headline a pay-per-view event. These things are true,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's
And you're
tremendous.
probably one of the first fighters ever to have a Pepsi deal. I'm sorry, Diet Pepsi deal.
Yes,
How long?
yes.
How
You
long
like
ago
Diet
was
Pepsi?
Come on now.
that?
I'll make the commercial easily. Um, I like Pepsi, not Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
But that came about right at the beginning of everything, during right after Olympics. I mean, you're just getting so many calls from everyone, and
And you
it's
know what's
unbelievable.
crazy? We talked with Chris Bird, who was also a silver medalist, and he was telling us that after the Olympics, nobody would even sign him. Isn't that weird?
That's that's very weird to me.
So maybe,
Maybe because of the fact because he went to heavyweight, even though he had started at middleweight.
No, at 60, no one signed him at 60.
that's why he went to heavy because nobody wanted to sign him.
That's crazy.
I'm thinking,
I I
you
don't
had
know if that they would have signed him. Someone would have signed him. And Chris Bird could box. That
well,
boy could
maybe
box.
maybe that's the difference. You could punch, he could box, and maybe people wanted punchers. I don't even know what else how else to explain it.
I don't know either because he was talented. I mean, he was a talented
Whatever
fighter.
it was, Chris Burr ended up being heavyweight champion of the world 2 times, so he ain't missing nothing. And he's actually
That's
fighting again,
He's coming back
which
at
is
50 years old. He's coming back. Yeah.
that's crazy. That's
So
crazy.
did you?
Everybody tells me that. Why don't you come back? I said, no, I'm satisfied. I retired world champion, man. I'm satisfied.
you can't get tougher than that. That's for
Would
sure.
would you ever do one of those like Legend League things that like Tyson and Roy Jones did?
It depends on who it's with, and it's about money because I really wouldn't do it if they didn't pay me enough.
Yeah,
But it,
I mean, you got a
but it
good
then
life right now. You're good.
Well,
yeah, it's a
that that
situation.
that
It's a
that
situation with the pay on that, I believe.
right. I mean, that Roy Jones fight and Tyson broke records, so I think they're getting good money, but who knows what they end up actually getting for it. You know how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was, and then yeah. So you said you
I think
retired.
that's why everybody comes back. Eh, I'm telling you, from us fighters, Jeremy knows this. We love it.
Mm,
Love to fight, man.
mm-hmm.
And it's hard to. It's hard. It's hard to
Huh?
let it go. It's hard to let it go. I retired once after the Lala fight. I said, "That's it for me."
Mm-hmm. That
I
was
said, "Man,
Maglala was the short guy, right?
the real short guy."
Did
Yeah,
he
and
did he hit
go ahead.
hard? Because he didn't. He looked like he was just more volume, not really.
Oh man, he was on you all the time. I
Uh-huh.
mean, he punchy, punchy. What's good about him was he was in condition and he could take a shot too. And
Mm,
that guy, and he was so short. And I love to fight inside, so I just kept it on in there. So that's how I got on my cut.
mm. Um.
But he was a good fighter also, man. And that
Yeah.
was
So
he was
I mean,
5'9".
4'9". Yeah.
4 foot nice.
Yeah. He So I mean, you retired at 32, correct?
Right,
Which,
right.
for today's standards, is really young. But back in the day, like, why do you think that is? That back when you were fighting, generally by 30, most fighters are considered done, and now they go into almost 40 years old. They're fighting.
Well, it all depends how you take care of yourself, I believe. If you really can last till you're 32, 33, I say 35, 34 years old, you start slowing down. You start slowing down. And I knew that. I knew that right away when I fought Jacob Malala when I retired the first time. I said, man, that guy was tearing me up. He was just quicker than me. And then I said, man, I got to come back. I'm going to win the world title and retire. So I fought 3 times after that and got the title fight
Mhm.
against Jorge Hart.
And for somebody
Man,
with power, like yourself, I assume you always knew, like you always had a shot against anybody, no matter how old you are.
no matter how old you are, you always got that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have that power, it's never going to go anywhere. It's
Yeah,
going to stay with you
Jeremy
forever.
knows. Jeremy has a lot of power.
Yeah, yeah, man. Don't worry about me. So, what does a normal day look? What does a normal day look like for you now? Get up at the gym, go home with the kids. What are you doing?
Really just going to the gym. Going to the gym, well, I get a lot of appearances. I do a lot of that stuff. So, that helps me out with my income. So
Hmm.
I do the gym stuff. The gym stuff, when I do the gym stuff, everything's cut off for that gym. So, and
Oh,
kids, yeah.
oh, okay.
So, well, are you in Phoenix or you in Phoenix? You're in Phoenix or you're somewhere else?
Sometimes it's somewhere out of the state or
No,
something
no.
like that.
You're living in Phoenix or you're living in Tucson? Where you living?
Live in the same neighborhood, same house, everything.
You're
Same
born and
shit.
raised in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, my gym's right across the street.
And you were born and raised in Phoenix, correct?
I was born and raised right
And
here
you walk across the street to work.
to the gym.
Wow.
You walk to work.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
walk to.
100 degrees in Arizona.
That's
I wouldn't. I, I've been to Arizona many times. It is hot as hell all the time, and then it's freaking freezing. In the
Um,
winter, it's freaking freezing.
yeah. I'm in New York, so
it's not freezing. It's really not freezing. It's just cold to our heat. That's all. It's cold.
Man, it is so goddamn cold in the winter in Arizona. It's ridiculous
it
to
does have.
me.
It,
Arizona, I mean, it's cold at them places. Here, it's not too cold. For me, it's cold because I can't stand cold weather. You imagine as many times I had to go to Colorado Springs.
hmm.
Oh man,
I
Colorado.
remember those days. I remember them days.
Yeah,
God, coming from
yeah,
Long Beach, dude.
no, that's freezing.
That shit.
I'm
I
in.
just I was in New York a couple weeks ago. It was like 19 degrees.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm from New York. I'm here right now in Brooklyn, and it's cold.
Yeah, no, you see, you're
It is
used to that.
freaking cool, cool,
Um,
cool. So, Michael, if you were in the position to fight one more time with any modern day champion, who would you fight?
and you're
Doesn't
in
matter
your
what weight it is.
and you're in your prime. So let's say you're in your prime now. Was there anybody who would you want to fight out of the current active guys right now?
Mikey Garcia, he's my
Oh,
favorite.
What's that? 32 pounds?
He's one 47.
Oh, he's 47. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
why him?
His style, I love him. I love his style. I just
Hmm,
love his style, and I think he's a great fighter.
he is definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's
He can fight. Yeah.
a lot of people remember you from having the. Would it be a ponytail? What would you call it?
my ponytail. Yeah, they
And
call
what
him.
is there
I,
any kind of like a story to that?
yeah, my father. He always told us that if you have long hair, you're like Samson. So
Oh,
I just kept the tail. I said,
oh,
I'll just grow my tail. I'll get my, I don't want full long hair. I'll just grow a tail to it. And I'll still have my strength. I'll still have some strength.
was it really like
So
a superstitious thing? Like, if you cut it, would you have been worried it might affect you? No.
that, I,
Mm,
it's just that, I grew up with. So I believed it and just left the tail.
Mm, mm.
mm. So 100. So you fought the majority of your career at 106 pounds, right?
No, 15.
What, who?
You fought the majority of your career at 106.
108 pounds, yeah.
Oh, wow. I,
106 for the amateurs. I was in the same weight class, 108 pounds.
108 pounds. My God, my leg weighs 108 pounds.
Yeah. And then you had me and Ricardo Lopez. Ricardo Lopez was lighter than I was. There's a 105-pound class. That's the strawweight division.
yeah,
Jeez.
he was a little
Could
more.
you not make one sit 1.5?
I could have made it, but I didn't want to have problems when I can make 1.8 really easy. I just didn't want to go for an extra 100 at another 3 pounds. If I'm
Yeah.
making 108 naturally and just like really easy, I wasn't weakening myself. So that's why I stood there. I mean, I didn't move up weight. I didn't. I was so comfortable there.
Who, how'd you get into boxing as a
My
child?
my
Father.
father was Golden Glove state champion, and
Oh,
that's how he started teaching me. Why he showed me the basics, and I kept bugging him about fighting. And that he said I was 6 years old when I was bugging him, but I couldn't remember it. And I started training, and I fought. My first fight was 14 years old, and I remember he told me, Michael, you remember what you told me? I said, no. What are you talking about? When you were 6 years old. I said, how am I going to remember when I was 6 years old? He goes, well, you said you're going to be a world champion. You're going to retire a world champion. I said that when I was 6 years old. He said, that's what you said. He told me that before my first amateur fight. So I said,
wow.
oh, I look back and I go, oh, he was giving me all the confidence in the world then at
Yeah.
that time. I just didn't know at the
It's a
time.
great. It seems like that's a great feeling to say it so long ago and have it be true today.
Do you have any siblings that boxed?
My other brothers, but they never pursued it. They trained and everything, but they just never pursued it. Not even the fight,
Hmm.
not not
Do,
even that.
do you have children and are they fighting or your daughters, sons? What you got?
I have two boys, two girls, yeah,
And
but
Yeah,
they don't
four.
they don't fight.
they don't they trained before, but they were just not into it. So
Would
Yeah,
you
you know.
would you like? Because I have children, and I think watching, even though I boxed, I feel like watching my son get hit would be kind of. I don't think I'd feel. I don't think I'd like it. Would you think you'd be okay with it if they wanted to?
see, I wouldn't if they wanted to, yes. you know, but I know what you're saying, and I know how you're feeling about it. Of
Yeah.
course, if my sons wanted to fight, of course I would have let them. It's what they want to do, and it was their choice, of
Yeah,
course.
it's a weird thing. Like I would love to see my son fight too, but then, you're also seeing your kid get hit, which is different than just any normal person.
But we got.
You didn't say that shit when I was getting hit.
I don't think
I was getting
anybody.
hit a lot. And you was too. So yeah, that
I
shit
don't.
hurts, man.
Yeah.
What so what would you say was your most gratifying victory you've ever in your career? The one that just felt the best.
My first world championship against Moonshine Kid Kasem, and that boy could hit.
Yeah.
He hit harder than Chiquita hit.
Uh,
Move.
And if you look at that fight, and he had an unbelievable jab. I thought it was a right hand. That
wow.
jab was sticking me, and my head was flying way back. Bam, bam. I was going, man, he's catching me with that right hand. Michael, it's not a right hand. That's a jab. I said, God damn it, I got to get rid of his ass. That's a jab. I said, God damn. That boy could hit, man.
So it
But
was,
that was
it was
my most gratifying
is it most gratifying because it was your first championship basically?
because it was my first
That must
championship.
have felt great. So I guess on the opposite end of that, what was your most disappointing fight?
Jacob Malalo.
The short guy.
Yeah, I got stopped in 10th round. That's the only time I ever got stopped.
Yeah, but that was a cut. He didn't have you where you
I
couldn't.
know that's what I mean, though.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I had like two cuts, and I said, don't stop it, please don't stop it. He's grunting while I'm hitting him with these body shots. Don't stop it. But
Yeah, you could smell it. Yeah.
can I do?
Um,
What can I
what
do?
were those butts or were they punches? I know they were ruled as punches, but were they really punches?
You know what? Everybody's gonna say butts, whatever. I have to look at it real, but I'm pretty sure there were butts because believe me, not putting my Lala down or anything. That boy was bad. He wouldn't have been world champion if he wasn't bad. That he just threw a whole lot of punches, and I was right inside with him. And when I looked at the fight, I said, "Man, I could have just boxed him and just stood on the outside." But I love fighting inside, and I just kept it at there. And
Hmm.
hey, he beat me.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean that was your style, so it's kind of hard to deviate from that, especially somebody who's all over you. You want to kind of get them off, right?
Would you get into a nice little rhythm when you were inside? Rather than being on the outside.
Yeah, because I was hitting him with them body shots, and I can hear him. I said, "God damn, okay, I hit him right here, man. I'm gonna stop him with them body shots. I'm gonna stop him with one." But I just thought
Yeah,
the
people
fight.
don't realize that when we're fighting, when we're actually doing it, like the thoughts are going so fast. We think, but we don't know what we think. It's just go, 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 go. Because everything is a reaction, and then the things that aren't a reaction are muscle memory, and we just do it. So you sitting in the body like really being sitting tight and chop up the body is like that is so much more gratifying to a fighter than just chipping somebody off with a headshot. I mean, knocking people out is cool, but when you can really like work a work the body and the guy that's not gonna sit down and you work them in the body really well and then you go back upstairs, that makes for a good, exciting fight that people want to see because they can see that the work that Michael's doing or that somebody else is doing. And I think it is a great feeling to be in that position.
Oh yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was really the most disappointing loss I had because that's why I came back.
Yeah.
I said, oh, I'm not going out like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And yeah, and I mean, and you came
that's why
back.
I talk about all the guys that come back now. I know what it is. We love the sport. We miss it. Believe me, I miss the hell out of it. I can go in there and spar a little bit. And that'll satisfy me. Just
Yeah.
to spar with the kids. And
Know
I'm
exactly what
glad
you're talking about.
that I'm smaller you know, 'cause my size, you know. So
Now,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I like to get in the ring and spar with somebody. Doesn't matter what size, just to throw some punches and feel like, what I mean, to get people don't understand, like, to get hit doesn't hurt, but it feels good for me. You know what I mean? To get hit and like shake it off a little bit and then jump in there, and do a little work, it feels really, really good.
oh yeah, I loved it.
how Michael, how often do you work out these days or spar? Spar and just work out, just hit the bag and stuff like that.
Sparring, I don't do too much of it, not anymore. I did at first, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I do everything else
Mm.
except mitts.
And
I just do the bag work and exercise.
do you do it every day?
Yeah, and I just work the mitts with the kids. Yeah, every day.
That's
Every
great.
day I work out every day. I don't. I work out by myself every day, and then I go work out with the kids.
Yeah, it's your gym. That's the beauty, right?
Yes, that's what it's there for. Them kids, the whole community. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well,
Well, hey man, it was great talking to you, Michael. We should what's the name of your gym in
you know,
Phoenix?
Michael Carbajal's 9th Street Gym.
simple,
No,
effective, beautiful.
easy. But well, it was great talking to you, champ. You are a true champion, retired with the belt, and you've got so much to be happy for. And thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you,
It was
Jeremy.
great talking to you. And you were a guy
I
that
don't
I
want
used
to call you that, man.
Huh?
I know what the show's called, but I'm not going to call you that.
to. Well,
Oh, he's the champ.
no. He's the chump.
No, no,
The
he's
chump.
the champ.
Oh, goddamn! Which one? See, I
It's
was. See,
That
like
one.
it just all right.
I mean, but you can just
I
look
just
and see
got
who's
me
the
off.
champ.
Hey, you want to spar a little bit and come and pay me back for that one?
it was
Nah.
I just
I don't
joking.
need a body snatcher. I don't need this body snatcher these days. Hey, brother. God bless you and your family. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
it was great talking to you, man. Thank you again.
All right,
Take
take care.
care. You too.
See you, mate.